morning, folks. We're just about an hour into Sunday afternoon. Different angle because bloody beams of light are shooting across the screen. Naked, no pendants or anything, and I bloody feel it. What can I do? I've decided I'm not going to go out today, so I couldn't be asked putting it all on as we do. But as you see by the title, tea, coffee and some chocolate thrown in. I was sitting here and I thought I've talked about some of the mugs I've got at times. I thought have a look at some of the cups. There's one or two mugs thrown in, but you'll probably understand why they're thrown in. And this is just a few of the different ones I got. Why the hell I have this many different sets and that, don't bloody ask. You know me, see something, bloody like that, come home with me. So don't be anywhere when I'm bloody shopping, you'll end up here. So yeah, tea. I don't know if any of you are like me, interchangeable. Generally, when I'm at home, I'm predominantly a tea drinker. When I go out the door, I'm a ground, fresh coffee drinker. Don't ask me bloody why. Occasionally, I will have a cup of tea out there when I just think I'm up to here with bloody coffee. I'll have a cup of tea. In the house, I will have a cup of coffee now and then, as you know, and I don't know bloody why, but I think it's because I'm using mugs. It become a thing to have a mug at the beginning of a lot of my videos, and I suppose mug, I just thought coffee in it. Tea's normally a cup. Anyway, in the future I'm thinking maybe I'll do a video on the etiquette of tea drinking, rather than just slinging it in a flipping pot, slinging it in a cup, slurping it down. There is etiquette to it if you want to be prim and proper. There's etiquette to using loose tea rather than slinging a tea bag in. And even with a tea bag, there is a way of making tea with a tea bag. If you see some people making tea with a tea bag, it's not the right way. So yeah, I'll probably do a video on the etiquette of tea drinking, and to give you a little spice of it. One of the things you don't do if you're in a circle of tea drinkers, you don't put this up. I'll have to look it up, but I don't know where the hell that come from. It's probably comedy shows, or it's a film or something or the other, but you do not pick your cup up, put your little pinky up, which a lot of people think when you drink tea you put your little pinky up. If you're in a tea circle, it'd be frowned upon. What the hell are you doing? Put your bloody pinky down. Okay, so really it's nothing about making tea and all that sort of bloody rigmarole today. You've seen quite a few of my mugs, and I've got a lot bloody more mugs. About 35 mugs, I think. Why the hell I need 35? Let's have a look at some of the cups that have some of the sets and everything. So let's have a look at some, see what you think. You like them, or you bloody won't. We'll have this one first, because this is different. Some of you'll know what this is, some might not. It's glass, and it's a little glass, and this is for drinking, as far as I'm concerned, it's for drinking Turkish apple tea. You put it in there, hot water, burn your bloody fingers like, but don't do it too high so that you can hold the top. Have a little spoon. I don't, but some people make it pretty sweet. And you conversation, yes. Turkish apple tea glass, I suppose you would put it. Some of the others, some might have seen this. This is one of the mugs. I bought this. There was only one. It was just bloody crazy. It's like a knuckle duster cup. I think it's better for someone with littler fingers, but you can just get your fingers in there. Now you might think, it's the point I wanted to put over, drinking tea in a mug or a cup or anything. If you're a tea drinker, I really advise you to get bone china bone china, and you'll notice the bloody difference. You might think, what the hell, you know, what's it make a bloody difference, whether it's ceramic, pottery, bloody, I don't know, china, it makes a bloody difference. So give it a go. So there you go. That's the first one. I'll put that down there. Then I got one or two slightly different cups. This is tea or coffee. I would probably have coffee in this one because it's not china and it's chunky. But all the same, I've got two of those, and why I bought these is because the black little gold design on, and in the handle, I don't know if you can see it, there's a hole there, a ceramic spoon that goes through there, and so you got your mug and your spoon. Just make sure it's not up there. You poke your bloody eye out, make sure it's down there. So that is one, what I call my unusual cute cups. I'm talking about that. I would drink tea in this, although this isn't this isn't bone china. But again, there's no hole for it, but there's its own ceramic spoon, and you can lay that on the saucer. I'm going to put it in the cup for now. I'll bloody drop it. There's the cup. I just think it's more of a tea cup than it is a coffee cup. And there's the saucer. How damn cool is that saucer? So I've got a couple of those. I saw them in, I think it was a charity shop, and I thought, how the bloody hell can you not have that? That's crazy stupid, isn't it? So you can put your spoon on here, or if you don't have your spoon with you, you can put your little biscuit or whatever on there. Bloody awesome. So yeah, that one. Then I bought a set of these, which I just bloody love. And there's yellow, there's this purple, there's an orange, and there's something else. But there's the saucer, flipping lovely. And these are bone china. So there's the saucer, and there's the cup. How bloody neat is that? How bloody cool when you got company round to drink tea out of bone china without your finger in there. You're going to remember that one, aren't you? So yeah, that's that. Before I go on to the coffee, I'll show you this one, but I'm going to bring that up again in a minute. So this is bone china. So you can buy mugs. You could buy mugs that are that shape, whatever. But if you look underneath or you look at the label, you find bone china, and they're just as good for drinking tea because it is bone china. The only reason you don't really use a mug is because it's thick ceramic or something, but whatever size it is, if it's bone china, it's bloody ideal for tea. But I'm going to come back to that in a minute. So that's more or less the tea. I have got other bits, but that'll be all day. Now looking at, oh yeah, this is, nah, that's a coffee. Looking at the coffee ones, I don't know why I have so many bloody sets. I think it's just so that you're not using the same bloody things all the time. Here's one set, it's says on it, cappuccino, lovely black saucer cup. You're going to read it yourself. If you want anyone else to read it, you've got to drink left-handed. But they're nice. I like a big cup, but sometimes, especially if you're using a little bit of etiquette, it's nice to have a smaller cup and a pot. So you can have a pot of coffee and you can fill that as many times as you like. I find coffee and tea goes cold pretty quick, so even this size, half a cup, and having it while it's pretty flipping warm is probably better, and then just keep having a go. That's one. Some will recognise this. I saw these in the charity shop a little while back, brand new. Again, I don't know why they always put the picture and pattern where you're looking at it yourself rather than that way round, unless they assume we're all left-handed. Didn't know whether they were very gothy or not, but I thought they were good. They're brand new. If you bought them in the actual shop, they were about £4 each. In the charity shop, brand new, 50p for the cup and the saucer. It's got a lovely light, is it purple or mauve in the middle? But again, very elegant, small little cups. Another set, again, I sort of go on the small ones, don't I? This one, Campagna, short black with cream floating on the top. So this is for short black coffee with cream floating on the top. There's your saucer. And as you see, it's to one side, so if I turn it that way, you put it to one side and there's room for your coffee biscuits on this side. And you find that with a lot of cups, especially coffee. The only other coffee one I got here, well, no, it's a lie, but on the little table, is that one. You'll all know what that is, espresso. Again, if you want somebody to see that, which I don't really know why you would, you have to drink left-handed. If you don't, you drink that. It's a coffee bean and it says espresso. And there's a little, again, you put it that side and there's the room for your little coffee biscuit. And I would show you coffee biscuits if I had some, but I ate the last ones today. So it bloody goes, isn't it? Still on coffee, you can put what the hell you like in them. I use these for coffee and I use them for soup. You'll see why. Some of you might recognise this set that I bought a little while back. I think it was £10 for, I think it was four. But it's a bloody heavy set. It's a gorgeous cup, which is more or less a mug. You generally find it's a cup if it's got a saucer. You don't get a set mug and saucer, please. Cup, saucer. And that, I loved it because look at the shape of that. If I can get underneath. Bloody amazing. And I think we did sort of find out that these are sort of from somewhere in Europe. But gorgeous cup. Like I said, generally coffee or nice for a cup of soup. Next one I have is this one. And again, they're pretty cool. They put the bloody name both sides. They're not stupid. No, I didn't. I've got a set of 4. Now I didn't nick them from Costa when I went in for a coffee. Because to be honest, I don't particularly like the coffee. It's as strong as bloody hell. These were about £8 per cup and saucer. Saying that, bloody cup and saucer, yeah. But coffee cup saucer, again, it's to one side, so you can put your coffee biscuits that side. I imagine you get some little cake that side as well. But yeah, I use those, coffee or soup. And the last one is this, that doesn't have a saucer, but I've got a set of these, really nice, they're big, with that. Actually the Costa one, that was a middle size. There's a bloody bigger one than that, and if I remember right, I think the bigger one has 2 bloody handles on it, one either side. This one, oh, that one as well, coffee, but a lot of people had chocolate in it. This one, again, it just come like that. Got a set of those, generally soup or big mug of hot chocolate, not so much coffee. Be bloody flying around the rafters. Now why I put this other one back, this one, because I wanted to talk a little bit about how I brew the stuff up. Well, not how I brew it up, but what I brew it in. And this is one, as you can see, it's got a little lid, so you can put the lid on and keep it warm, and you can take it to the table and just put it on there and keep it warm. I've got somewhere the lid, when you put the lid down, it hasn't got a bubble, but you take it off, put it down, and it becomes a little saucer. And what I wanted to show you these is because inside, a little mesh basket, and you put that in there, loose tea, you could put a tea bag in, but loose tea, hot water, leave it for the required time. When you're ready, take that out. If you want, put that on and toddle off. So yeah, and these are china, so really good for drinking tea in. And the first thing I was going to show you, you know, where you would actually make tea in a different way than just slinging a bag in a cup. Coffee, how do I make coffee normally? I grind my own beans, and I use these. If you're British, you'll call it a cafetiere, folks. If you're American, I believe you call it a French press to the English. So cafetiere or French press, that's what I use, and it's predominantly coffee in there, hot water, give it a little time, press it down, voila. Tea, I've got different teapots so I can make tea the correct way. I also have this, which, I'll turn it that way, electric. It looks like a cap, looks like a clear lid. If I do a bloody video about being tongue-tied, looks like a cafetiere, looks like the old coffee pots, especially the Italian ones and that, but it isn't. It's a teapot, and if you press these two bits in here, you'll grab the bit inside and you lift it out. You could theoretically make coffee in it, but it is a teapot. And there you go, let go, lift that off, and you put loose tea leaves in there, put that on, grab it again, fill that with water, it's that way around. I'm not bloody sure which way around it is. You put it on anyway, and there you go. It's full of water, tea in the top, plug it in, switch it on, and the water will boil, go up to the top, through the tea, back into it, and it actually makes a really, really bloody good cup of tea. So if you don't want to faff around, and there's a bit there that gives you your different cups, how many cups. But if you want to make a really good cup of tea without having to know all the rigmarole of how to brew a really good perfect cup of tea, these are pretty flipping neat. So it does look, when I first saw it I thought, oh, that's a unique coffee machine, until I read it. Tea. Then the only thing left is chocolate, and if you came round to take chocolate with me, this is what I'd probably use. And if I can get the bloody top off, it's not just like that on the inside, a lid. Put your water in there and milk and chocolate, or if you don't want to use water, your hot milk, your chocolate, flavouring if you want some flavouring. You can also put some chocolate bar in with the chocolate, so it gives it a really, really rich chocolate flavour. This goes on the top, and actually if I take it off and push that cork out, if you notice there's a hole and a cork, where you can have your cork in there, that'll keep the heat in. But what's the hole for? I think you've all seen, it's in there, I didn't bring it out. You've all seen these little handles with a spindle and a little thing on the bottom, and it's battery, and when you press it, it goes around and agitates and spins the liquid. Well, you put it in there and it sticks up here, you turn it on and it froths up your coffee. No, it doesn't, it froths up your bloody hot chocolate. And then you can hold it by the handle and serve your hot chocolate. So, hot chocolate. So folks, that's tea, coffee with a little bit of chocolate thrown in. Some of the things I used to drink it with, and what I would give you a cup of it in. If you don't want it in one of them, you can bring your own frigging cup, right? So after that, I'm bloody ready for a cup of tea. Can I have a bloody cup of tea? So go away, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee, a cup of chocolate, a cup of whatever you like. Remember though, when you drink your tea, if you haven't got one, go and get yourself a bone china mug or a bone china cup and give it a go. And if you don't, make it in bone china and go, wow, that is bloody lovely. Oh man, that's bloody lovely. I don't know why. You've probably heard other people say it. You've probably grown up hearing it. I don't know why it works. I really don't know why it works, but it does. The ancient people of parents and grandparents know what the hell they're talking about. So folks, have fun, toddle off, enjoy your cuppa.